the idea is the motion is almost trying to bring the soles of the feet toward the ceiling. It's not going to happen, but that's what I'm doing. You can go up and down the feet. You can rock, forward rocker into the heels. Rocking the feet inward. There's all sorts of different sort of tempos that you can do. You can do 1 foot at a time.
And is this your 3, you do this 3 times, whatever movements you're doing? Or this is not yet 3?
Not really. In the feet, you can just do what feels good. You kind of feel like that's about right. I like to also pick up the feet and just sort of hang the hips a little bit. And this is really, I just might like offer a little nudge with my shoulders and let my arms and her legs just hang.
Not to shoulders.
Like I just like give a little momentum with my body. So in order to do the feet, we do the top of the feet 1 at a time. You start at that golfo marma. There's a little divot right in the top of the foot, and you can sort of feel that in your own self. I tend to flex their foot, and it sort of sucks in right there. I go thumb over thumb, and then I pull out. So I'm working foot line 1 and 5. I'm rocking with my body. I'm in archer stance, we sort of saw earlier. I flick off the toes, and I push this away. This might be considered like a minor meta sweep. A meta sweep would be something like this. You do this as sort of a transition. You'll see more of it. Golfo marma, line 2 and 4. Polishing pennies, massaging the toes, flick off. It's almost like if you've ever seen like hands-on Reiki, something like that you might have like an imaginary fire behind you, and you put things into the fire in order to release, like get rid of anything unnecessary, polishing it, that sort of thing. So that's you could do 1 at a time, do single leg, and then come back, hit the same top lines, come onto the other leg. If I'm doing the soles of the feet, this I can do either way, bilaterally or unilaterally, doesn't matter. But if I'm doing it bilaterally, remember that line, or that point is just above the calcaneus, right? That's where that line sort of connects, and I'm rocking up, and I'm working foot line 1 then, coming out the big toe. And there really isn't a wrong way to do this. You can do foot line 1, and then 5, and then 2, and then 4. You could do 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3. When I get to like 4 and 5 generally, I will take my elbows toward my belly button. So I'm still bone stacking. You don't have to. You can still keep the hands up here. I just tend to, I don't know, maybe my hands aren't big enough in order to kind of wrap around in order to get those bottom ones. So that's a little bit of foot line. If I were to palm up the legs, I'm rolling the hands open, or the legs open. Notice my arms are stacked. Most of this, it's passive body stacking, body weight. I'm not pushing. So my hands are also really soft too. So here's that cat rock. And I'll walk back down.
Stop at the hip.
Yeah. I mean, you could go all the way up. All the way up to the head. So that would be like a double leg palm, palming the legs. But what this anterior single leg, what's that?
I was saying I actually do that with my clients.
Oh, good, yeah.
I didn't know that's That was.
But what this first one here, palm leg, anterior single leg, is referring to is open diamond stance right outside from the knee. I sort of rock the leg in. I'm palming, I have one hand at the IT band, just superior to the knee, one hand just above the lateral malleolus. You're going to feel like you're going to want to sit the arms straight in front of you. But if you do that, by the time you get all the way to the top, you're really off their side. So my center is in line with their knee. I start with just a couple bamboo rocks side to side. And then my mother hand is constantly changing. So here my left hand is the mother as my right hand moves up. Now my right hand is the mother, and the left hand steps up. The mother's constantly changing. This can take a little bit of practice in order to get your rationing right.
What movement did you call it? The bamboo glide?
This is a bamboo rock.
Bamboo.
I like to also, when I get up to the top here at the greater trochanter, as I push in, I feel that the leg wants to pull in. And so this is almost, I'm almost doing that sort of Qigong sort of practice with her leg. I'm only resisting slightly. I'm overlapping my pressures, releasing the pressure here as I push in here, and I push back here as I softly release that.
How do you feel, Britt?
Okay. And I just walk this back. I spoke about the rationing because when I first started this palming of the legs, like sometimes I'll get up to the knee and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm only halfway up the thigh. You know, and it's like, okay, well, just keep going up the thigh, you know, make it work. So the biggest thing is that you sort of just keep moving, you know. This rhythmic rocking gets to be very hypnotic for the client. Their body really tends to give in a lot more than if we were to just, you know, like poking at it. So that's what a palming of the leg is. I did that little bits at a time. If I were to do 3 of them, it would look. You know, and actually, there is a little difference too, depending on, excuse me, just a bit. There's a little difference on which hand goes first. If I'm palming, I tend to want to lead, move my lead hand first, and then catch up. Lead and catch up. It has a very different feel to it energetically versus if I were to like lead with my backhand and then skip forward. It almost feels like claustrophobic. It feels really like jamming up. It feels it does. It does really sort of stop energy that way. So try to think of, and that's why when I got to the top, I sort of like did an extra rock and then I started back down here, you know. So it doesn't have to keep moving. You want to keep moving. The placement doesn't have to keep moving. So that's what palming the leg looks like. Metta sweep, there's the second one. Hip rotation, I tend to do a metta sweep to pick up the leg and I step in. This one might be different for women. The foot comes into my sternum. So you could put a pillow or a bolster maybe across, sort of between